Season's greetings, friends and family. I hope you've had a wonderful day today. I've been working hard all day long with Norm's help. The last minute things seem to take the longest, I think, when you're cleaning. You just got to take all these things away that are just everyday silly things so I can make it pretty for you. I hope you're going to like this. I am not a fancy table setter. Never have been. I have fun putting things, for a centerpiece there and maybe sometimes a couple candles, but my family's always been very informal. Norm has always loved having a tablecloth on our very cold Formica topped table that we had made many years ago. He wants to protect it too. So not only does he like me to have a tablecloth on, but he likes placemats too. He also claims that he's always spilling something right away and he doesn't want to spill it on the tablecloth. He thinks it's a lot easier if it ends up on a placemat so I can wash them. So I'm always looking for cute placemats at the thrift stores, and I found like 6 of these. The other side is just a red dot, red with white dots. So I am never very fancy when it comes to napkins. I just had some fun vintage Christmas poinsettia napkins, and I had thrifted several years ago 4 of these little Christmas tree napkin rings, just possibly hobbyist. And we just found these melamine plates at Target on sale. There wasn't very many left. We have always had my brother here with my sister. So even though we've lost my brother last Christmas, I wanted to set the table and feel that he is here with us in spirit. I thrifted all of these glasses and many more like it. They have little white dots on them. I'm sure that's going to be hard to see against this vintage runner. I just found these 2 beautiful porcelain mugs, footed mugs that Norm and I love the shape of these because of how they fit your hand. That little notch on the handle there really seems to secure your finger from slipping up on the handle with a full mug of coffee or tea. So we just found 2 of these at Wild Vintage Collective. I'm always saying that wrong. I think I've been saying it Wild Collective Vintage once in a while, so I'm sorry for that. I have this better set of stainless. I believe it's false graph. Bought it many years ago for the holidays or if we have company, but it's showing some wear, so it's not real fancy, but it is not our everyday stainless. But I really do like it. So that is what I just used now. Nothing fancy here. This is just what my sister and Norm and I and my brother were always used to. Me just keeping things simple. I just thrifted this at the Goodwill. I was so surprised. It's a full glassed bottom piece. The hurricane top does come off, so you can set any kind of candle in there that you want. It was so reasonable. I did not look it up for you, but I was quite surprised because it very much looks vintage to me, especially because it did come with this vintage plastic greenery on it. So that is what I am judging that by. I thought it would make a really nice centerpiece. And the red votive is something I've had for a very long time. It did not come with a votive or a candle. My sister was with me when I found it. Yeah, I was very tickled. Now, we just found, I believe it was it in Hutchinson? There was a Dayton's red and white vintage Christmas box that had these two plastic Hong Kong candle holders in it, and very, very old, discolored tissue paper still in the box with these two. I thought that was just crazy, but it was really fun. I found several things now this year from the Dayton Hudson Corporation, where my father retired from. Spent his whole career there. So I thought it would be fun to put a couple of my green lucite candles in them. I have had this beautiful runner for many, many years. So I ironed that today, and another vintage one behind me on the countertop. These are two more of our lovely Christmas porcelain mugs. They're possibly from the 80s. These were made all the way from the 60s to the 80s that I can tell. These have gold on them though. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping the little tree here. So there are 4 glasses there that match, and I have many more of these large tumblers with Christmas graphics on them. And you've seen my little splatter glaze sleigh. I typically like to have some mixed nuts on the table because as soon as my brother would get here, he'd want to sit down at the table and watch me out in the kitchen here behind me. He'd always offer to help. But if you had nuts on the table, he'd start eating them because I'm sure he was hungry, especially smelling the food. This year, my sister is going to attempt to drive up here. I don't know if she wants to try on Christmas Eve. On Saturday, it's going to be still very, very cold and windy. Our weather is really taking a dive tonight. A lot of snow, very, very cold temperatures. The wind chills are going to be well below 0, in the double digits. Very dangerous for driving. A lot of highways will probably be closed. Let's go over closer to some of the fun thrifted things that I've displayed this year on all these cute little vintage reticulated metal shelves that I really enjoy having. We'll go look over there, but first I just want to show you, for the past couple of years, I've had some acrylic, really pretty, clear reindeer hanging from here that would just float around. But I thrifted these candy-looking or cookie-looking ornaments many years ago. I have tried to have a theme this year in the kitchen and dining area of candy. I just love that look, so that's what these are. An apple. There are 2 wreaths. So I decided to put those up this year, and I will show you what I decided to do for some fun garland up there. I do not have the blinds open because it is now 8:45. It's taken me that long. Our dinner held us up for quite a while to get everything cleaned up after that. So I have a lot of these very fun, possibly 60s tumblers that aren't as big as what's on the table here. They're smaller, but I really love them. I found them many years ago, and they do have a bell on one side that says Happy New Year, and on the other side there's a wreath, I believe, that says Merry Christmas. But I like the trees. It's kind of a fun pattern. So I decided to just put some colorful things in here with some mugs and teapots, a couple of teapots. I found this Taiwan teapot probably last year. I've had these two kids for quite a long time. Adorable caroler kids. Probably Japan, I'm thinking. So he is a teapot. I've had the bear mug for a very, very, very long time, as well as this one. I think some of these could be Target ones. I should touch up the handle on that bear. And I found these beautiful milk glass footed mugs. They do have a very nice foot on them. They're pretty hefty mugs. I just love them, and I found them for 39 cents each many years ago in a thrift store. Many. But I just found this adorable, irresistible teapot. A Santa, maybe. He looks like he's probably Santa. His hat is a mug, and this is by Fitz and Floyd. I knew it before they even took it out of the showcase. This was in Hopkins Main Street Antique Mall, and he was a splurge, but I thought it was well worth it. I think he was like $30. I thought that was a real deal because he's in excellent condition, but you know, Fitz and Floyd does very, very nice quality pieces. He just makes you grin when you look at him. And I just found this little pair of, oh, I guess it's a boy and a girl, very vintage looking outfits for $2.25 or something like that at the Pink Squirrel that we just went to. It is in my video, if you haven't seen that video. It was a very fun Christmas shopping day for us in Wisconsin. I will link that above. You will enjoy it. So let's go up here to some more thrifted mugs. These are, boy, I don't know, are these made in Japan too? Could be. They're just ceramic. They're not, I doubt that these are porcelain. They're ceramic, I think. But it's really fun because they're stackable and the graphics are different all around. I purposely put Santa here with the reindeer so you can see what it looks like on the other side. So obviously that's the same mug. I do have repeats, but often when I would pick up some of these, I didn't remember which ones I had, and so I would take whatever was there in the thrift stores. She's a little Napco wear belle, and I believe she actually does have a partner that could be more girl looking. Maybe this is more of a guy. I'm not sure, I could look it up, but it came just single, and I found it at the same Pink Squirrel sale just last Wednesday. So I think it was only like $2 and something, $2.25 or something like that, $2.50. It was really worth it. I was happy to find that. It's such a smooth finish, ceramic, very, very nice. And I've had this tree for, a couple years now. This is a really, really old Hong Kong pomade, they call it. So there, the bottom has a piece that you can unscrew and put some potpourri in it. So there are holes in the top for the scent to come out. Really cute little fellow peeking out there. I've always liked that big pine cone. And I have shown these 3 little Taiwan Homeco mice dressed up in Santa clothing. The little girl, when I had thrifted this set a couple Christmases ago, I never realized that the tree was missing in her hand. I did not see that. So it's just really crazy that a year later I happened to find her all by her lonesome at Goodwill. And there was the tree. So I was pretty happy. I thought, whoa, what a crazy thing to just run across her. So that was happy find. I bought this at Target last year with a nice little battery light inside. Lots of glitter, very sweet, very vintage theme style. It's very nice. I don't typically do that, go to Walmart or Target or buy a lot of things from Hobby Lobby, as sweet as they are. I just have way more fun finding them at the thrift stores, and preferably being vintage. And I don't mind at all going back as far as Taiwan from the 80s and calling it vintage. This guy was half price after Christmas, but that was a couple Christmases ago, so I was able to show him last year. An adorable cookie jar. I love the fact that he's looking up. So it is nice when you have areas like this that are low, and then you find these cute decorations where the character is looking up. Very nice. I often take out this vintage tea towel and hang it on this cart. I don't know if this is just considered a serving cart or what. I assume. On this shelf, it's all thrifted items from Goodwill. We have 2 Goodwills really close by our house. So we will a lot of times just go to both of them. But these are just adorable. These little Kimbo deer. I've got quite a few of them now in different sizes. I think this is, maybe these might not be, I'm not sure. They are painted like the Kimbo deer, but they are not the quilted look, the softy look they call it. And I was really happy to find this little Santa at Goodwill. I thought for his size, you know, he was a little pricey, but he's in excellent condition, and I think he was like about $3.99. I did not mind paying that. I've always thought he was very funny, and I guess there's 3 elves that go with him from what I've noticed out there. And I did show this set last year. Very common, very easy to find them. Often you don't find the whole set at thrift stores, but it's fun hunting for them. It's very easy to find one of them at least. Oh my goodness. Well, that was crazy. I asked Norm to light this little mouse candle, and neither one of us were thinking about how directly under that thing it was. So I look up, find that it is melting the berries. Oh my. The berry was dripping down, so I didn't even get the phone shut off and reached to blow out the candle, pick up the candle, and I spilt hot wax all over my hand. So my hand was coated with hot wax, so it's not hurting me right now. I think it'll be okay. Probably cheap wax, you know. Oh well, that wasn't a great idea. If he had been pulled way out to the front of the shelf, I don't think that little greenery up there would have been affected, but that was shocking. Candles are pain. They're pretty, but I tell you, you really got to be careful. I showed this last year. I thrifted it a couple of Christmases ago. It is so cute, this little set. I bought the 3 deer. I told the story. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. I told the story last year of how I thrifted the 3 deer at Goodwill, came home, and decided it was crazy that I left the sleigh there on purpose. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So I went back there and I found it. It was still there. Who'd want a sleigh without the deer, huh? So I'm glad I did. They're kind of heavily painted, their eyes. Everybody did theirs a little differently. So these are kind of loud, but sweet. I'm happy to have them. I also showed this sweet little set of very, very young little elves. Toddlers. I didn't even know they existed. I've always just seen the more mature ones with beards. There's possibly some others too that I'm not remembering exactly what they look like, but little sets of 3 elves is very common by Homeco. But I found these 3 little guys together at the probably Family Pathways. Very fun to find. I've just put some little wreaths here and there. And I found these last year too. Little Homeco deer. It was nice that all 3 of them were together. These I did purchase in an antique mall. I believe it was in Jordan, Minnesota. And they had marked them down. So at least I felt I was getting a good deal on them. I don't remember how much, but I've always appreciated having them because I know I got them way less than what they're selling for now. Even individually. I'm really happy to have found the whole set. Now here's the other little Taiwan candle that Norm lit for me, but there's nothing up above him that's going to cause any problem. I would like to show you what I just thrifted this year too that was so sweet. I can't remember though where I found it, but I just love how they make a lacy look. This is plastic canvas. I've found quite a few darling pieces of plastic canvas this year. I look for it all the time. I'm just crazy about it because someone went to a lot of work to make these. Look at how lacy the bottom of her dress is, or apron, if that's what that is. I hope that's sharp enough. I'm holding the phone down very low, so it is kind of hard for me to tell if I'm in perfect focus here. But isn't that cute? Holding a fruitcake. That is so adorable. They are just separate pieces, but he looks like he's got his arm or hand behind her back when you put them together like that. We've had this for many, many years. It is called a treat tree, and that is what the box said. That's what they named it. We have the original box. These are probably called different things. I didn't get the star right, but it does have a little star on the top, so I asked Norm if he would please put some fresh gumdrops on it for me. He did a great job. You can always put more things, candy in the bottom if you want. This is another vintage little runner, very small runner that I found many, many years ago, and I'm sure I thrifted it. I wasn't typically going in antique malls looking for that kind of thing. I always hoped to find things at the thrift stores. I want to show you what I decided to do with the popcorn, M&Ms, and some holly. Vintage garlands. And Norm picked out this beautiful plastic bell that has flocked bows and bells on it. Really, really nice piece. A little glitter. That is a very sweet type of thing to put at the center of garland. And these are old curtain valances, just heavy cotton that I've had for many, many years, along with another set of simpler plaid with rickrack on them. Does this have rickrack? Nope. But I've changed them back and forth sometimes. They're very, very short, and I was happy to find them at a thrift store many years ago because they don't hit Norm's head when he goes out the door. So that was fun, climbing up and down the ladder many times to get this all even, and I really like it. I think it's very fun. Over here is the well-known Santa blow mold cookie jar. I purchased this a very, very long time ago. Always loved it, and I store the cookies on my refrigerator, the cookie ornaments that I've glued magnets on. I store a lot of them in there, but it would never fit all of them, but I use things like that, or I've got three, I have at least 2 Christmas ice buckets, vintage ice buckets. Here's one of the fun Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks. I have a nice little collection there. Very happy to have them. I want you to see the temperature right now outside. More than 6 below. It's gonna get really cold tonight. Ugh, yikes. And very windy and very snowy. Scary. I did thrift this too from Family Pathways just recently, and I already had one from a couple years ago. I didn't mind getting another one because they are getting older. Could be from the 80s or even 90s, I'm not sure. And there was others like this. But I did just find that guy, and this was from the thrift store a couple Christmases ago, and that one too. I love that tin. I just think they're so cute. I don't know why I'm so attracted to tins, but I am. On our kitchen shelving this year, I did the same as many other years by displaying what I just love is these vintage punch bowl sets. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the smaller bowls and their mugs, and in the middle there, the big one that says eggnog with red snowflakes on it, that is the only one that is a different shape. They're probably all hazel atlas. I'm not certain, but I don't really want to be trying to guess or remember who made all of these things. Of course, these are two very large, very lovely Pyrex dishes, casserole dishes that I've had for a very long time. I really appreciate having them with the beautiful gold pattern on them, so festive. But I will show you the punch bowl sets in a minute here, and what I think I'll do is just briefly tell you what's different, and then I'll just be quiet and let you listen to some Christmas music, and I'll show things slower. So what I've done is ask Norm to take a very large shelf out from way up there. I used to have those isolate pictures down lower there where the large punch bowls are, but that was a shorter shelf because it was going to run into the refrigerator, whereas up there I had 2 rows instead of the one shelf that is there now that went all the way over the refrigerator. So I had milk glass planters on one row, and then I would put the narrow Pyrex casserole dishes on the next row down. Well, I decided to have him make it the height of the isolate pitchers, so now instead of getting 9 across that shelf that was shorter, it was always 9 that would fit. So there's 12 now, so it was very fun to find as many of them that we have that has red and green, and then I wanted to use that shelf for the large punch bowl sets, which I have 4 of, and I'm pretty sure that is hazel atlas. If I'm wrong, I'll put a note in there. So what I wanted to do this year was have all the candy jars that I've been finding, I just love them, or little canisters, and see what candy I could find out there to put in them that would complement them. Some of them I love have graphics on them, and that can be a problem if you're trying to put candy in them. It's not a problem at all with the vintage ones that are just clear. Obviously you can see the candy very well. So that's my theme for this year. This is a new set of mugs. They are very different than the ones that are over there. They seem to have a little more black on them, and the fancy patterned one to the left is very unique. I've never seen that before. And the Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday ones I've never seen before in a store, so I was very happy to find that set. Just thrifted him at Family Pathways. So I have a lot of salt and pepper sets that are Japan that you've seen in my previous videos for a couple years at least now. Always thrilled to take them out. I just found this at Bibles for Missions, like it was I don't know, a couple dollars or something. It was just crazy. It is a little teapot. So I will tip him over and show you what the bottom says. Hold on. It's a pretty decent item, I would say, sold by the Oneida factory store. Yes, it is new, made in China, but I still thought it was a pretty nice piece for a couple dollars. So I was happy to find that. So tiny. Just love teapots. So I did thrift another one of these big trays just this past week. Sorry, I'm getting my light in there. They have glitter on them. I had one for probably 10 years or more, and I just found one last year, and now I just found one a week ago at Family Pathways. So I have placed some old plastic trays here and there, or metal. I think they are very fun. And I just wanted to talk about these tumblers. I was shocked just this past week when we went to Family Pathways on our way home on Wednesday from the Pink Squirrel sale. Norm let me run in North Branch, Minnesota. Family Pathways, it's a very big store, so I always find wonderful things there. They had 9 glasses, and one of them is a larger, different style tumbler that is in the cupboard behind me that we are using for every day. But these are a set, and they're much thicker up on the rim than some of the 50s tumblers. These are a little thicker, so they could even be 70s. I don't really know for sure, but they were asking $4.50 a piece for them, and that is cheap if you think about it, what they would sell for in a antique mall. But I loaded up the cart with them, and I was kind of apologizing to Norm. He walked up, and I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not leaving these vintage glasses behind. They're just beautiful, and I've never even seen them before. He said, yeah, they are nice. So I said, well, 8 of them, and 9, that's almost $45 there. $40 worth of glasses, but they're just beautiful. And he said, that's okay. So we go to check out with all kinds of very, very neat things that I found that were Christmas. Everything that I purchased was Christmas. And the list, the receipt was so long. I thought, what? I looked at it, and here it was because everything was duplicated. Family Pathways was 25% off. So I think I got these glasses for $3.30, something like that, each. That's a steal. I just love them. So I did want to talk about those because that was so recent, just this past Wednesday. Very thrilling for me. So I will just pan these shelves and let you listen to some Christmas music. If you've been watching our Christmas videos, I'm sure you've seen my crazy cookie ornament collection. I have so much fun looking at that. All thrifted. I purchased this ice bucket decades ago. I just love it, and I sure haven't seen it. I'm very happy to have that, and like I said, I store some of these cookies in there. And I have explained, we found this at the State Fairgrounds antique show many, many years ago. It is a 50s plastic cookie jar. So cute. So it has vintage cake pokes and cake top decorations in it from Hong Kong. Did I last year, did I take those out and show you some of them? I can't remember. I may have. So I won't spend too long on these. I thrifted these fun, really sweet oven mitts last year. So cheap. I washed them. They came out just beautiful going through the dryer. I just found this. I just love this plastic canvas stuff. They are so cute. I could not believe this. This was from Wild Collective Vintage. Isn't that just adorable? It had a magnet on it. The eyes and eyelashes. They're very vintage. They could even be 80s, I don't know. But they look older than that. There is a pear and an apple that I had many years ago that was plastic, and they had those eyes on them. But I just found these three. Well, no, I had the Mr. and Mrs. for a long time. I just found the gingerbread boy, and I made a magnet out of that one. This I just found. And look at this. Just found this Wednesday. This past Wednesday, which today is what? Well, today's Tuesday, so it was a week ago. Isn't that sweet? There were huge, heavy-duty magnets on the back. I took 2 of them off because 2 was plenty. But that's a lot of work. I just think they're so sweet. Such vivid colors, you know. And I thrifted that a month ago. So, down here, I want to tell you about this. This is a vintage Christmas plastic tray. And there's another one underneath it that I just thrifted this month. I'll show you that, but first I want to show you the wonderful handmade treats from our good friend Kim, K-Y-M. She has a wonderful channel that is on homesteading, but a lot of other things too. She's very fun to watch, and we became friends a year ago or so. And we just really have hit it off, and we talk every day. She's a wonderful friend, and she sent us a Christmas box full of goodies and a wonderful card. And I didn't want to open up these treats until my sister gets here for Christmas. But this is the kind of things that she does, and she shows on her channel all of the wonderful home-cooked soups and breads and all the treats and everything that she makes and how she does it, and she's canning all the time. She's got quite a pantry, and she raises her own hens too, so she has all fresh eggs for all these goodies. So thank you again, Kim. We're gonna enjoy that when my sister gets here. I have shown these fun things in the past. I've talked about how I love finding pretty jars. So that is real popcorn in there. Real treats. Found that guy a year ago at least. But I enjoy taking these out. I need to light that little candle and tell you about that. I meant votive. I couldn't pass this up because of the fact that I love my gingerbread cookies on the fridge. This was all the same type of thing in a votive, and I found it at Bibles for Missions. So the girl is on the back side, and they have a star between them on one side, and a heart on the other side. So I thought that was a very fun item to find. I do have a couple of new recipe boxes in there. I've put pretty much the same pot holders that I had up last year. There might be a couple new ones in there. I think this one is new. I just love it. So down here I just have some vintage items. When I was at Bibles for Missions last, I was digging through the bin of tins. I mean, it was a tub full. They had some out on the shelving, but I was really having to stoop over to the floor under a shelf and dig deep. And I could not believe. I saw the back of her, and I knew it was figural, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was going to be. I was so tickled to pull her out, turn her around, and find an adorable Mrs. Claus. So, so cute. Bright green hat. She is adorable. I don't think there was any identification on her, though. And this was hilarious to find. Harry and David fruitcake. It is all bumpy on top, like a real fruitcake would look. So cute. Kind of rusty. It is older. Very fun. I've had this trivet for quite a few years now. This is a vintage plastic recipe box. I can't remember who made that one. And I just found this really cool tin. Very atomic. It looks like the red dot pattern of the Pyrex. Amazing. No identification at the pink squirrel. So I just brought out some other vintage things. I just found this tray just yesterday at the Goodwill. Half price. It was pretty cheap to begin with. Looks like you don't have it quite have the bow to the top there like it should have. This was at my brother's house. Probably could have been a floral delivery item, but very nice. That's very nice quality ceramic, and that pattern poinsettia is on the back too. So over here, I did show these items last year. Thrifted all of them. I just thought these were really fun mugs, even though they're new. Very, very cute. And I have had this idea last year to show all these little cookie sugars, non-perils, even little tiny gingerbread boys. Gingerbread men. They're more mature. Love the sparkles. They are all from my sister. When I showed them last year, I forgot she was the one that gave them to me. It's too bad they put the price on the front, like I said last time too. It would have been a lot cuter if they hadn't done that. And I just decided to put these again up here. Sorry about my light on my camera. These I just thrifted in maybe September at Family Pathways in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. So I put a couple of my large beaded candle ornaments on them. I thought that was appropriate and kind of fun for Christmas. Cute magnets up here too. I always like to take advantage of this metal hood. I'm magnet crazy. You know, a lot of people have magnet collections on their refrigerator, right? So I'm not unique that way, but Christmas it's overloaded. Norm said the door is so heavy with all of that that it doesn't want to close by itself. So he said you better make sure you give the door a good push to make sure it's closed. He found it open slightly one time. Oops. So I have a pile here of thrifted vintage plastic trays. I think they are so sweet. It's so nostalgic to see these. They are just so cheap, you know, when they were made many years ago. And I'm finding them really cheap at Bibles for Missions. They just want to move this stuff out, so they're like 99 cents. So I found several new ones this year. But this is well known. There's nothing on the back. I'm sure a lot of you have seen these old patterns. I like this type more than the softer look there, but so I like that more. And I did show you this sweet one last year. I had it sitting here on the counter. Wanted to talk about how many years ago I bought this from a wonderful retro place that is now closed. And it is from the 60s, you can tell by the sweet, crazy Santa graphics. It is a chip and dip one, very hard plastic. But look what I just found at Bibles for Missions. I mean, these things are like $1.49. Unbelievable. Look at that. Happy holidays. Isn't that sweet? That is so cute. It's so funny that it's in pink and lime green. But, you know, they go together. So you'd have to have 2 different kinds of chip and 2 different kinds of dip, or just do something different. You could put anything in it, really. I'm going to set these over there. And I just found this at Bibles for Missions. Now this is made exactly the same. Very heavy plastic with a very textured bottom on it. So this is very nice for veggies, probably. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course, you wouldn't have any dip in the middle, but anything. Really, really fun. I just love finding these old trays. They don't stack real well unless they're identical. Oh well. Underneath the tray of cookies, I was saying that I found another one this year. This one's really nice too. I like that. Well, this is a very unusual place maybe to display these adorable votives. I have been collecting these for many years, but boy, did I find a bunch this year. So my collection has gotten so big, I didn't want to put it on the shelving behind me. There's a lot of stuff there to look at. So I thought, well, let's try this. They're very cold tonight because it is so cold out, and they're sitting in this cold window. So I just lit them now. I have 2 of these. Found the second one this year. The other one I had had for many years. All of these from either Bibles for Missions or Family Pathways. I don't think I found any at the Goodwill. So I have 2 of these, and it says Merry Christmas on the side. Beautiful doves. And I just have 1 of that one. I just found this one. Now, some of these are from the 70s, and I think the ones with very thick bottoms are probably from the 80s. So you can see the difference where the candle is in that one compared to the mitten one. It has a thicker bottom on it. You can see, I have 2 of them that say this says 1979. Just beautiful. This is in 80s. That is in 80s. And I believe that one is too. Love that one. Just found it. Just found the snowman one. That doesn't look like a thick bottom at all. And you can see that says 1977. So I'm thinking the 70s ones are thinner. They don't have that thick bottom. So they must have decided they weren't very safe. They needed to make the glass thicker to make them not break. I've seen votives explode when the candle gets burnt down so far. Not at my house, but somebody else's house. But that one with the bell is very sweet. I don't have very much yellow on them, but that one is really yellow. And that one is new. And there's the other two duplicates. I was going to hang these in the window. They're probably 80s. I hung some on the patio door and they kept getting knocked down, and I already broke some pieces on brand new in the package. You can see my light there. I'm sorry about that. I'll take my light off after I show you these. And so the nylon fishing line that I put on them is still there. I was going to have Norm hang them up in the window, but I decided I'll just prop them up right here for now. So I have shown these in past years, but I do have two new ones from the patio door. And I don't think I'll end up showing them in this video. But I want to show you this. I was so tickled to find this simple gold chain. This is adorable arrangement, and it's all screwed in to the bottom of this simple plastic pot. Very 60s, I think. But look at what I got it for at Bibles for Missions. That's just how inexpensive they are there. That's why I fill up a box usually, because I end up with big items like this, you know, that take a lot of room. I thrifted this little valance. It's so cute. Many years ago. Just perfect. So I changed that for the winter months. And I just found this vintage plastic popcorn and cranberry garland that I thought would be fun to put up here, because I'd already done the patio door garland when I found this at Wild Vintage Collective. Really nice. And over here I have my crazy crocheted Santa pot holder, which I would never use it for one, and probably nobody else would. He's just probably just for decoration, so I hung him there. And this is our vintage Dixie cup holder. Up there, I decided to have Norm put some of my other green and red and white isolate pictures. The green polka dot one is the newest. I think the red and white one is new this year, but I'd had the others. So that looks festive up there too. So this is all I've done for the mugs. I took the doors off these cupboards a long time ago because I was collecting so many beautiful mugs. I just really wanted to look at them. I didn't want them hidden away. So I put in some of the red and white ones we have. And these are all the thrifted Christmas ones I've been finding. That was the odd one from Family Pathways. It was $4.50 that I got 25% off. It's beautiful. Very heavy, thicker bottom on it. Some of these others might have been giveaways with like Arby's or somebody. I thought I heard something like that. So I have quite a few for us to use every day because I got them so cheap. I'm not worried about them getting a little worn out, but as I've mentioned before in our videos, I use, or we both, when we load the dishwasher, we are putting in Finish Quantum little gel packs because they protect glass. It is the best quality one they have. So these are some of my beautiful Christmas porcelain footed mugs that we drink out of every day. I just love them. So in the winter months, in January, I use all cardinal ones. So I have a lot of them with cardinals on that are still up in the cupboard. You can probably see them way back there, some of them. And I have Valentine ones. So I have quite a variety, and we love drinking out of them, like the ones that are on the dining room table right now. So these are the last items to show you. I ironed this really, really sweet runner. Just beautiful. I've had this for quite a while. It's probably a Target mug. Just put some spoons in there. Norm always uses a spoon in his coffee. And I just found this picture last year after Christmas. It is is that Fitz and Floyd too? I think so. They made those round eyes on things. Very sweet picture. Love him. We've had this for many, many years. I have 2 different treat trees like this, only the other one has flower little discs shaped like flowers. So I just put some very delicious smelling Hershey's peppermint candies. Really, really yummy. This is the gingerbread house cookie jar that I just found yesterday. It was marked $8.99, but I got it half price at the Goodwill near our home. And it came in the box. It was on the bottom shelf. I had Norm pull it out. I used to have this years ago, but gave it away. So I was kind of wanting it. So I got it half price in the box. Unbelievable. I've shown this little guy before, a little Taiwan mouse. But the bottom of the cookie jar, no, the box. Maybe the bottom has a sticker on it too. But the box said, distributed by Dayton Hudson Corporation. So that was really fun for me. I was really happy to find that. And I did just thrift this at Goodwill. This is much taller than others that I've had in the past. So that was quite a few bags of M&Ms. And I just found this. I can't remember where, but it was really, really reasonable, and it is adorable drip glaze. It was a black holder, black metal holder, but I asked Norm to spray it red for me because I thought it would be so cute for Christmas and even January or even February if I wanted to use that. So he did a good job, and I just think it's adorable. Nice little petite one. And I did find her either last year or the year before. She's so cute too. A little Taiwan Mrs. Claus. So that's all there is. Thank you all again so much for supporting our channel. Thank you for your thumbs up and your wonderful, wonderful comments. We appreciate all of you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. See you soon. Bye now.